Hi, I'm Nan Simonson. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach and the author of Aging Powerfully, book I wrote just before turning 70 4 years ago because I realized getting older wasn't going downhill. It was actually looking at the future with I'll just say, sun filtering glasses on. I don't mean to say it that way. What do I mean? In other words, it can be the best time of our life. And that's the way I see it now as I get older. And actually, I think it better. And I wish the same for everyone. And the book talks about lifestyle as medicine and how to bring that about yourself. Um, Today is a day of reflection, brought upon this holiday week uh, of Thanksgiving, and I'm honoring growth and health and togetherness with gratitude. And I want to welcome you all here. I have a group that I've been meeting with now that I just adore, and we've been meeting for more than a year. I began the PowerPoint playlist back in June of 2023 with a 12-week program, and you can go back and watch that on lifestyle as medicine. In other words, the precepts of my book put into a program. And after that, or during that time, I created a group, a way for us to get together and share ideas, and that group is still going. As a matter of fact, I have a group of people in the background, and we'll be getting together as soon as I finish this training segment that you're watching right now. So I'm grateful for this group. I'm grateful that I began that program, and I'm deeply grateful that these people and you, those of you who are watching, who have either subscribed to my channels or who have just caught this video, I'm grateful that you're here. When we began, my channel was really small, and we're growing. We've grown more this year than any other year. And when I wrote Aging Powerfully, it was with a mission. And that mission was to spread the word about lifestyle as medicine, about aging with power on purpose and how to do it. And the mission was to continue to promote that information and that inspiration for the rest of my life, which I hope is another 2 or 3 decades or more. And the more people that hear this, the more people that know it, the more lives are being changed. So I want to thank you for that. I'm also delighted that the group is so cohesive. Even when I travel, the group still gets together at the same time, same place, and they have their own meetings, and they are connected to each other in such a way that they are truly a community. So I want to thank you for that. Um, I'm going to begin by bringing you with me on my journey of this year because it was a journey of personal growth and professional growth, and I'm so grateful for it, and it's part of who I am. Uh, 2024 began with a really intense effort, a 3 months, what we called coaching intensive practicum that would take me from being a certified health and wellness coach to nationally board certified, which is a recognized standard that can get a coach into any practice anywhere based on that standard. And even though I'd been a health and wellness coach for 6 years, certified, I wanted that, even though I had no intention of going into any organization in that way. I wanted to know that I knew and that I was up to that level of training and expertise as a health coach. And the course was 3 months. Then there was 3 months of really intensive training uh, away from that and studying away from that course. And I took the nationally board certifying health and wellness coach exam, nearly a 5-hour exam, and it was intense in July, and I passed in the 90 percentile. And I'm proud of that designation. And that was the beginning of the year through July. And then well, I'll tell you about this morning, and I'll tell you about this vest. When I was getting dressed this morning, I grabbed this vest. I've had it for more than 20 years. As a matter of fact, I wore it for a moment of celebration. This was me on the cover of one of our local magazines. I was a landscape designer. No, let me back up, because before this was taken, I didn't have my Nanscapes company. I was caring for and designing a 2.25 acre property, and it was our property. We were there for 10 years. I created the landscape to look like a botanic garden. The plants were even labeled. I was a certified master gardener through our extension, the UC extension course in Riverside. And I did a lot of training, I did a lot of classes, and I was on the board of the Botanic Garden. And during that period, before I even considered doing other people's landscapes, I did ours to the degree that our local magazine decided that they wanted a story about our garden. Again, 2.25 acres, and this was the entrance gates to the English garden. Well, that was with this same vest on. And I was 53 at that time. That was March of 2004. I'm now 73 and about to turn, in less than 2 months, about to turn 74. And I'm wearing again in honor of another celebration, because in September of this year, I had some lab work done. I went whole food plant-based. Some of you have heard this again and again. I went whole food plant-based. Well, let me back up even further. At the beginning of 2018, my health and my husband's health was going downhill. You may know this story. The story is that your doctor says, oh, you have high cholesterol, you're going to have to see the cardiologist. And another one says, oh, or the same doctor, you have high blood sugar or high A1C, you're going to have to see the endocrinologist. And oh, you've got something going on with your digestion, you're going to see the gastroenterologist. I had all of those referrals, every one of them. Oh, and the rheumatologist, because of pain everywhere, and uh, the rheumatoid antibodies being sky high. So in other words, I was going into what I call the black hole, the health black hole, because every one of those specialists did exactly the same thing. They gave me about 15 minutes, if even that. They wrote a prescription and said, you will be taking this and you're going to take it for the rest of your life. Statins, immunosuppressants, a biologic for my gut because it was going crazy. Um, that was the beginning of 2018. I went whole food plant-based. At the end of 2018, I had just finished my studies as a health coach, decided on plant-based nutrition as the way I would go. And by the middle of 2019, all of that had abated. There were no pills necessary. It was the food and the lifestyle, the exercise, the community, the sleep, the stress management, all of that remediated everything else that pills would never have fixed. They would have simply hidden the symptoms. So what is this about? Well, in September of this year, I had some blood work, and there was something on the blood work that I have ignored because I feel great, no symptoms, but they were a few. They showed me that the 3 autoimmune diseases that I have that came as a diagnosis from all this other stuff were there. not active, but were there in terms of antibodies. And I've let that go because I thought there wasn't anything I could do until I was advised by one doctor, you should fast, you could fast, it could knock that down. And there has been proof of that. And then I was told by my doctor that there's another doctor that works with these kinds of things, especially autoimmune, and does it with a protocol, a hyper nourishment protocol. So either fast or eat a whole bunch of really healthy food. And I decided to go with the protocol. Who am I talking about? Dr. Brooke Goldner. I had seen her at a conference. I knew what she did. I knew what her protocol was. And when I was directed to do it myself, I said, okay, the antibodies have, and I did her program for 6 weeks. I'm doing her hypernourishment. I'm now 8 weeks into that. And you can look back at my videos and catch any one of them that describes what I'm talking about. But what I went in for to beat down one of the worst inflammatory signals, which was my ESR, the erythrocyte sedimentary rate, went back to normal within 6 weeks. And that we haven't been able to do anything with. The rheumatologist kind of threw up his hands and said, I don't know what to tell you. Not for 6 years, we weren't able to bring that down. It went down in 6 weeks. And the antibodies are down by a third. Well, that was 2 weeks ago, so who knows where they are now, but they're falling as well. Why does that matter? Because the more autoimmune diseases we have, the more we're going to get. It means that the body is in flames to a degree, even though that degree for me was mild enough that I wasn't having symptoms yet. They were just waiting for the symptoms. So what is the point of all of this? I did her protocol. I am celebrating the success of the protocol and a really wise decision to be disciplined enough to do something hard. It wasn't, it was easy, but it wasn't, well, it was simple, but it wasn't necessarily easy. High raw, no cooked foods for 12 weeks, all really leafy greens and cruciferous and not much more. But you know what? It turned everything around. So that's something that I'm grateful for and that I'm proud of. I'm talking to us now about learning to focus on gratitude, to focus on the things that we can and should be grateful for that are simply part of our life. But I'm also focusing on looking specifically at the things that we can and maybe have done to keep us mindful of the power that we have. One of the things I wrote about in my book was the blue zones and the lessons that we learned from these 5 communities, these 5 areas in the world where people lived not only the longest, had the most centenarians, but the most healthy populations. Interestingly enough, the clinic that I have been with for, well, now it's going on 7 years, just merged under an umbrella of Blue Zones Health, something that has been sanctioned by the group that is promoting Blue Zone, well, lessons all over the United States. So they sanctioned our health clinic and a number of others that we gathered with Lifestyle as Medicine to be Blue Zones Health. I'm part of that now. I also was offered, soon as we became a Blue Zones Health facility, the ability to become a Blue Zone advocate with a certification from Arizona State University. They're offering a program, so I'm just about finished with that. And so I have that additional knowledge about the details of what the Blue Zones, well, offers, the bottom line is to help people find that the healthy choice is the easy choice to take. And we reconfigure communities. And my particular community, Riverside, California, is now being reconfigured as a blue zone as well. So all of this merged, I'll call it the universe merged, from my enthusiasm about them written in this book 4 years ago to now the clinic being part of a blue zone effort, my community doing the same, and my being offered a position, even though I said I just wanted a volunteer position, with the rolling out of the blue zones in our area. So again, one more thing I'm grateful for, but I think, and you may agree, that what we think about, we bring about, and we see what we believe is possible. If we believe something's not possible, it's not going to be. If we believe it is, we simply keep it in our mind. And so gratitude, believing, embracing the possibilities in front of us are all part of personal growth. They're all part of a community, because every one of these efforts ultimately needed and is strengthened by the community that we're around. And so I'm going to end with just some thoughts on that. Family and friends, we need to express gratitude for the relationships that we have that bring us joy, the people that care about us and keep us in their mind as we keep them in our mind. Because without other people, none of us are as strong as we would be with the community and the people in our lives that, that allow us to use that term. Family and friends. Our family and friends are, well, in the blue zones, they are paramount to the health of everybody involved. The community outside of the family, as well as family and friends. Personal resilience, your resilience, your ability to look back this year and acknowledge and feel gratitude for your own growth, your perseverance, and your ability to face challenges. Take some time to think of this year. I looked back and I looked at how this year evolved for me, and it took effort, it took determination, it took vision, and then it took a celebratory turn. I'm not getting my words out well today. A celebratory turn of events. In each case, acknowledge the power of gratitude. Establish a gratitude practice. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, but it's a practice that shapes how we approach life's ups and downs. I have spoken before, and I'm not going to be specific, about somebody who has come into my life who has had a great tragic loss at the end of last year. And it hurts my heart every time I think about it. It just pulls at my at my emotions. And yet, within a very short period of time, she was back to us full of gratitude for all else that life has to offer. No blind eye. In other words, no blinders on to what isn't what it was, but by the same token, very focused on the things that she can still make a difference about. And she's a glowing light of potential in everybody's eyes, because we see what is possible in spite of, one of the worst things most of us can imagine. And I'll leave it at that. So I'll say to you again, look back at your own life, at what this year brought you, what you overcame, how you dealt with it, how you persevered, and how you felt or how you faced challenges, and be grateful at not what is still there to challenge, but be grateful for what you've already done in knowledge that you can face just about anything. Establish a great gratitude practice. You've probably heard this again and again. Gratitude isn't just feeling, but it's a practice that shapes us and shapes how we approach life's ups and downs. Reflect on your own blessings on a regular basis, and those blessings can be as innocuous as, oh, I love breathing in and out. I watch that as I meditate, and I'm so grateful for the fact that my body does that automatically. Do you see how simple it is to find something to be grateful for? We could go on and on and on all day when we open our mind in that way. Some people, and I'll finish with this, and I'm going to read it because I wrote it and I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Some people call these challenging times. I say, let's hold on to the power of gratitude to ground us, the connection to uplift us, and hope to guide us forward. Together, we've shown that we can find strength, resilience, and joy in one another. May this Thanksgiving remind us all that the support we offer each other and that we share will carry us through anything. And that's it. Take some time to be with family this week. Take some time to enjoy what we have been given to any degree. And I wish you peace and love and joy. And happy Thanksgiving. I will see you again next week. And consider Aging Powerfully, the book. Consider subscribing, passing this along, a thumbs up, and have a great day because I know I'm going to. All right. Bye-bye.